So before we get into this episode of Questions from Subs, I got to give a special shout out to the newest Team Keep It Clean patrons, Dan P, Keon, and Steveland. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for becoming Team Keep It Clean patrons. If anybody would like to become a Team Keep It Clean patron, you can go to patreon.com/Ingravenvids. There, of course, is absolutely zero pressure to do that. Zero. If you want to, cool. If you don't want to, that's even cooler. That's fine. But we still got questions to get into regardless. And first question came from a patron, my guy, Martin. And he said, are we being too hard on Greg Roman? Well, how has Greg Roman been doing this season thus far? When you think about it, he's actually overall, it's been more good than bad. Of course, the areas that it's been bad in has been the running game. There's just been a lack of running game outside of Lamar Jackson. And I think that's been a lot of fans' biggest thing. A lot of fans been like, oh, well, if Greg Roman, he's known for the run game so much and we can't run the ball. What's up with that? But hopefully they start to hit an upward trend in the run game. But we'll dive into it more, I'm sure, from his question. Let's get into it. He said, are we being too hard on Greg Roman? Don't get me wrong. I want Roman gone just as much as the next Ravens fan, but we're all over Greg Roman for the passing game. And so far this season, the passing game has looked pretty good. And now we are on him about the run game. But I see that as more of a Harbaugh problem because he did the same thing last year, used the old washed-up running backs, even though you have younger running backs who might be better. That's the first part. Now, with that part, so you're talking about the usage of the running backs on the roster. Now, last year I can't, actually, yeah, you can't. I was about to say I can't really fault Harbaugh and them for that. But they did have a young Tyson Williams who looked to be a better runner than a lot of the other guys that they signed. But of course, when you fumble, if you're not a first round pick or you're not a star player and you fumble that ball, then it's curtains for you. That's a wrap. Harbaugh, like he don't forgive people for fumbling. If you are low on the depth chart, you don't get forgiven for fumbling. That's it for you, man. And we've seen it a lot of times before, man. We've seen it with again with Tyson Williams. We saw it with Mike Davis. We saw it. Y'all remember Janarian Grant? Y'all remember him? He was an undrafted wide receiver. He was a dynamic returner, very shifty, quick. And this was some years back. And he doing his thing, but then I think it was in 2018. But then he had fumbled. He fumbled, and then he ended up getting cut. Cyrus Jones, another one, phenomenal returner. Did his thing. Then once he started fumbling, I think it was in a Patriots game, as a matter of fact, I believe. But he fumbled like twice in the game. He got cut. But then, of course, Lamar fumbled in week 1. Harbaugh can't touch Lamar. Lamar's off limits. And obviously, because if there was no Lamar, then you know the rest of the story. And then I remember Mike Wallace, too. Mike Wallace. Free. A lot of times I forget that the Ravens signed Mike Wallace. But Mike Wallace. He had fumbled, and no, he was just fine. It was cool because he was Mike Wallace, so he got the pass. And I remember C.J. Mosley on an interception against the New York Jets. What year was that? Oh, it was obviously a while back because it was C.J. Mosley. But he got a pick against the Jets, and the offense, per usual back then, the offense was doing so bad. They couldn't move the ball. They weren't scoring. It was rough. So C.J. Mosley got the pick, and he was running it back, and he tried to stretch it. He tried to stretch it across the goal line, and the Jets player ended up knocking it out. And then I think they got it back. But Mosley, he got the pick because Mosley was one of their best inside linebackers. But he got a pass for that too. So it all depends on who you are when it comes to the fumbling. But so last year, again, that's Harbaugh's thing. This year, Mike Davis hasn't really got much playing time. I mean, the game where he got the 2 Ks where he fumbled and recovered it, that was against the Jets. Then the Dolphins, he couldn't do anything. Then he wasn't out there against the Patriots. Kenyon Drake, he was inactive against the Patriots. He got opportunities the first 2 games. And J.K. Dobbins, they tried with him too, and they tried with Justice Hill. So with Justice Hill, we would like to see him get more. Him and J.K. obviously, and I think that will be the case moving forward. because I don't see them relying on Kenyon Drake and Mike Davis more than a J.K. Dobbins and Justice Hill, especially now since they officially got that guy J.K. back. So it's a matter of just seeing what goes down with that. So we'll see how it goes down in the future. Anyway, he said Roman calls the plays. He's not the one averaging half a yard a carry. That's this old running backs. EDC keeps signing, and Harbaugh refuses to stop using when they aren't doing anything. So, this year, Mike Davis, he hasn't been productive for the Ravens. I really thought in the preseason, I thought he looked good. I thought he looked good in the preseason, but regular season has just been a different story. And again, with preseason and regular season, you going against and playing with different levels of competition. But yeah, I thought he looked fine in the preseason, but regular season just hasn't been it for him. And with Drake, again, he's been trying, but it ain't been working out. But anyway, he said, I say all that just to be fair. Speaking of which, all offseason, I have been very critical of this Ravens offense. I didn't think the team was very good without Lamar Jackson. I didn't believe in our current wide receivers, so I wanted to be fair and call myself out. Bateman and Duve have really shown up big time so far, and I have been a big believer in Odafe Away. I know he hasn't gotten going yet, but I think he will start clicking soon. But shout out to our wide receivers for proving us doubters wrong. Oh, yeah, I love it, man. I love what the receivers have done, because y'all know me. My biggest question mark was it was the unknown with the wide receivers. It was the unknown, and I would have been a lot more comfortable with the Ravens going into this season if they had something that was proven in addition to the unknown that the other wide receivers brought. But they've been doing their thing. Duvernay, absolutely, and Rashad Bateman too, as a matter of fact. They have been making the most of the opportunities that they get. Neither one of them has been getting 10 targets a game, anything like that. But when they do make their catches, they make stuff happen. This year, one of the things that we talked about all offseason was the yak. How important the yak was. It was so crucial and beneficial to the Ravens passing game. Because that's something that they had struggled with for years. So the fact that there's been a lot of yak, especially with Rashad Bateman, but there's been a lot of yak, that goes such a long way. Now, let's just hope that with DeMarcus Robinson, and again, we know not every player is going to be super involved every game. But let's just hope some other guys can step up too. And they can show out as well, like a DeMarcus Robinson, like a Isaiah Likely, like a Prochet whenever he plays. I'm not sure what the status with Prochet is right now, because he's missed the last 2 games, and they've called up Riley Webb for the past 2 games. Tylan Wallace as well. So let's hope that Ravens can really just make even more weapons than they already have.
Yeah, this feels like a dream, and you know just what I mean. You see my boy, he gotta made it. Boy, he's a fan and he like the Ravens, and you know just what I mean. You two team, keep it clean. You see my boy, he gotta made it. Boy, that's my homie, ain't that right engraving.
Team, keep it clean. Welcome to another episode of Questions from Subs. Before we get into this next question, special shout out to the newest Team Keep It Clean channel members. My guy Sean S, Lance S, maybe they might be brothers, and then 1G. Appreciate y'all. If anybody would like to become a Team Keep It Clean channel member, all that information is down below in the description. Really, it's a lot of information down below in the description. If you ever want to send something to us, the P.O. Box address is down there. You want to send in a question, that information is down there, and you of course want to become a Team Keep It Clean patron or channel member, that information is all down there. So I appreciate y'all. Without further ado, let's get into this next question from Nazarene. He said, what's up, fam? Hope you and the family and the flock are blessed. Hey, appreciate it, man. Thank you. He said, nevertheless, I have to address the flock. Okay, we got a conversation good to have. Why are we so hard on our young players? A lot of fans don't like certain players because they aren't what they preferred us to draft /sign/trade for. Bateman is one of those guys. What? That fans don't like? Who don't like Bateman? I haven't seen anybody say they don't like Bateman. I haven't seen that at all. But anyway, he said Bateman is one of those guys. Kyle Hamilton is one of those guys. I have seen people say that one. Tyler Linderbaum is one of those guys. I have seen people say that one too. I haven't seen a Bateman part. People were so quiet when Bateman was burning everything the first 2 games, but now he's not better than Duvernay? Really? So nobody noticed that Belichick put the defensive focus on Bateman? He wanted to erase him and make other receivers beat us. People be quiet when he's doing good, but loud when he's not great. This is the same thing people do with Lamar. And Kyle Hamilton has the highest PFF grade out of all the rookie DBs through week 3. I have not seen a QB target him yet. They know better. The defense is still gelling together, and we started the year with only 2 outside linebackers on the active roster. The more healthy we get, the more dangerous we get. Our roster is underrated mostly by our own fans. Bateman and Duvernay are a very unique combo, and Mandrews is the safety blanket. We must support our team and stop bashing them. I'm talking to the fans that does it, not you, big bro. Also, I will complain about Bateman once he drops a ball in the clutch. Hopefully, you don't have to file that complaint. Till then, that's our guy. Keep up the good content, fam. So yeah, with this, again, I haven't seen it about Bateman, but I have certainly seen it about Kyle Hamilton. I've certainly seen it about Tyler Linderbaum, Flinder. But anyway, and I think it's just part of social media. It's part of people expressing their opinions and how they feel about certain players, how they feel about that, what the Ravens should have done, what the Ravens could have done, and what the Ravens did versus what they feel that the Ravens should have, the direction that the Ravens should have went. So that's gonna come with it. That comes with the territory. Not everybody's gonna agree with every single move that the Ravens do. And there will be some people that, and this, like you mentioned, it does happen with Lamar too. There will be some people that if they don't like a certain thing that the Ravens, or really whatever team, but they don't like a certain thing that the Ravens did, then they'll sit and they'll wait, and then be like, bam! All right, see, there it goes. That's why the Ravens should have done X, Y, and Z. But some people will do it in a way where it's like, hey, this is what I was trying to say. This is what I was talking about. I'll do that. But then at the same time, there's some people that if they wanted the Ravens to do a certain thing, then if they ended up being wrong or that certain thing ends up actually working out, then they won't admit to being wrong, or they won't acknowledge that thing is actually doing good and doing a lot better than they thought. See, on here, we'll do that. Like again, my biggest thing, y'all know this offseason has been with the wide receivers. I did not like the way the Ravens moved at wide receiver. I didn't feel like they did enough. But I'm glad, because I just didn't feel like, I feel like they needed a proven guy. And so far they haven't. And that's been a beautiful thing. It's been nice to see the emergence of Devin Duvernay for sure. I feel like with Rashad Bateman has been more continued from last year. And I thought that, I said that was the biggest thing with him, that he just had to keep stacking from last year. Because last year he got off to a good start, especially with Lamar Jackson, but he just had to keep it moving. And he's done that for the most part. But with Devin Duvernay, this has just been an emergence of Devin Duvernay. And that's somebody who I did not think the Ravens viewed him as a number 2 wide receiver. I did not think they really viewed him as a wide receiver at all, despite them drafting him in the 3rd round, despite everything that he did in college. I just didn't see it. I thought that they were just going to continue to use him as a gadget guy, a kick return, punt return guy, and that would be it. Maybe he get a couple catches here and there, but again, jet sweep king. But they've been proving that, and he's been proving that all wrong, and I love it. I love the fact that somebody who was unproven, he's proven himself and stepping up in a big way. But not everybody is like that, and that's it. It is what it is. There will be some times when people will wish bad to happen. And this not just for football. This could just be in life. Some people will wish that bad things happen in whatever the circumstances are, just to say, I told you so. Next question came from my guy, Nick Brick. He said, Ingraven, I hope you're enjoying the season. Oh, yeah. These seasons always fun. But, yeah, I've been loving it so far. I wish the Ravens could have been undefeated, but it's all good. 2-1 still straight. He said, I just wanted to say that for the first time, I got my parents to tune into the live stream while we all watch the game together. They're also Ravens fans, and you had them cracking up. Thank you for that. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. And shout out to your parents for watching the game with us too. I appreciate that. That's really special, man. Yeah, that like made my day, man. I appreciate that. For real, man. Shout out to you and your parents, man. And that's cool that y'all get the opportunity to watch the game together. I was my wife's dad is in town from Chicago, and he's a big football fan. And I told her, I said, man, I love watching football with your dad. I told her that the other day because it's fun. And it's cool because not the Ravens game though. You know, I watch the Ravens game alone. I watch the Ravens game with nobody. And even if I don't know if I had him in here to watch the Ravens game with us, then I'd be like I had to kick him out because he probably wouldn't keep it clean, man. But anyway, but yeah, I appreciate it a lot, and that's cool, man. So that's gonna be cool when Carter, if Carter ends up even getting into football, watching the games with him too. So we'll see, man. But anyway, he said, now for my question, with just a few weeks into the season, are there any players you owe an apology to? For example, I owe an apology to Justice Hill. I was certain when he tore his Achilles, we wouldn't see him in a Ravens uniform ever again. And now I'm begging for him to get more carries. Hey, I didn't think Justice Hill was going to make the roster either. I thought he was going to be on the practice squad at most. An apology who I owe an apology to. I would probably say Devin Duvernay. Like we were just talking about before. I didn't think the Ravens viewed him as a wide receiver, and I did not think they were going to really use him like they've been using him. But he's been doing his thing. He's been showing out when given the opportunity. And I like somebody in the comment section said it the other day. They was like, great, not good things, but great things happen whenever Devin Duvernay has the ball in his hands. So it'll be Devin Duvernay. Who else? Is anybody else? Yeah, I think that's it. Devin Duvernay. Maybe Greg Roman a little bit too. Greg Roman, because my thing with Greg Roman, I just really wanted him. I had to scoot up for this one. I just really wanted him to be a man of his word, because we had heard about the vault, we heard about the forging a new identity. So we heard those things, and then this offseason, it was we got 20% new plays. And I was like, okay. Well, we heard you say stuff before like that, but show us. And so far, he showed us. Next question came from Nasir. And again, appreciate everybody in this episode. This is a patrons featured episode. But anyway, he said, Ingraven, hope you and the fam are doing well. We're doing pretty good. I hope you and your fam doing even better. He said, how do you feel about our defense from this game? The Patriots game, obviously. And do you think that we can keep this up? What you want them to keep up from that game? The turnovers? Yes. Giving up all them yards and big plays? No. So they that's what it is, man. Can we get the fourth quarter defense? Can we just get that defense all year, just forcing all the turnovers? Was Kyle Hamilton forced fumble in the fourth quarter? I think it was. But the Marlon Humphrey the pick, the Marcus Peters pick, can we get that? The Josh Bynes pick, can we get that defense all year? If so, hey, I'm with it. But that other defense from the earlier giving up all them yards, we don't want that. We need the lead of the drop pick six, the missed tackles. Yeah, we need to leave that defense alone. Next question came from one of the newest Team Keep It Clean patrons, my guy Dan P. Appreciate you too. He said, love the content since finding your page. I haven't had to go anywhere else for my Ravens news. Hey, appreciate that. Thank you. My question is, do you think with all the issues in recent seasons regarding pass rush that the Ravens should move up in the draft and be aggressive with getting a young top tier talent? Whew. Interesting question right there. I love it. What is the issue? Is that what the issue is? Is it talent or is it scheme? Which one? Because under Mike McDonald so far, pass rush has been an issue. It's been a problem. Under Wink Martindale, pass rush was an issue. It was a problem. Under Dean Pease, it was better. because we had a Suggs, we had Zadarius, we had who else we have? Man, I forget, man. Dean Pease had I was about to say Von Miller, Elvis Dumerville too, right? So the quality was pretty good. The quality was better. I mean, Terrell Suggs. When we had Terrell Suggs, like he made life easier for the person opposite of him. He's obviously a Hall of Famer, 2-time Super Bowl champ. Again, the second was more of a participation award, but hey, he got it. He got 2 of them. You can't tell him nothing. He got 2 Super Bowls, man. So shout out to T Sizzle. But yeah, I think he was the difference. Now that I really think about it, he was the difference because he got a lot of people opposite of him paid. Remember Paul Kruger? I used to really like Paul Kruger, man. But he went to the Browns, he went to the Saints, and then he just like fizzled out the NFL. But yeah, Terrell Suggs was the difference. We ain't got no Terrell Suggs right now, man. And Lodi Nada was big in the pass rush of the past too. Because a little wordplay right there, pass rush of the past. But anyway, because he brought interior pressure. We haven't had interior pressure in a long time. Ever since Lodi Nada left, there's been no interior pressure at all. So that's another thing to think about too. So I wouldn't be mad at them for moving up and getting a higher quality pass rusher. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I know a lot of people wanted Kayvon or Clavon. They wanted Thibodeau, KT. And a lot of people wanted Jermaine Johnson too from Florida State. And I think, Jermaine Johnson, he got a sack on Lamar too, I believe, in that first game. Hopefully KT don't do the same thing in week 6. I almost feel like I would just like the Ravens to skip that game because of that field. Oh man, wish they could just like sim the game or something, and then we just get the win or something. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that could be a part to solve it, just getting more quality. But getting more quality could never, you can never go wrong with getting better quality. The last question on this episode came from my guy TJ. He said, "Team, keep it clean. What's good? Pray God continue to bless you and the fam. Appreciate you. Hashtag glimpses. What we are seeing are glimpses of what's to become the reincarnated 2000 Ravens defense." Where you see that at? Because I ain't seen it. I ain't seen that at all. But anyway, he said, like you said, these first few games are like the preseason. Yeah, we lost because I said that first game. That first game was like an extended preseason. But let's keep going. He said, "But yeah, we lost because we thought we won. But what happened against the Dolphins, I know we won't see again. And the offense is just getting started, Ingraven." Hey, well, yeah, the offense, they seem to just be getting started, but the defense seemed like they ain't even started a lot of times yet. But anyway, he said, "This is our year. Go back to our history. Every time there was adversity, doubt, too many injuries, tragedies, contract situations, we have won the Super Bowl." Oh, I don't know about all that part. They sure ain't win it in 2014 when there was all that stuff going on. They ain't win it in 2021 when there was all that stuff going on. So I wouldn't say it's every time. Definitely wouldn't say it's every time. And even the year when Ray Lewis became a free agent. And he like flirted with going to the Cowboys. He flirted with going to the Broncos. They ain't win the Super Bowl that year either. But let's keep it going. He said, "I'm saying this here and now, our Ravens will win the Super Bowl." Hey, I hope you end up being right. I really hope you do. I would love that. We would all love that. He said, "Watch our Ravens destroy the league at some point during the season." Like, what? That's... Watch our Ravens destroy the league at some point during the season through the playoffs and beat whoever down to the ground in the Super Bowl. Lamar becomes the richest QB in Ravens history, and he will pull a Kobe and Shaq with a back-to-back. Mark my words. Oh, you over here freestyling. Wait a minute, man. Now, become the richest QB in Ravens history. Oh, no. No. He would become the richest QB in history. Scratch the Ravens part out. He would become the richest QB in NFL history. And it's only going to be short-lived. It's going to be short-lived because you know how these contracts go. But at the same time, it may not be initially. Obviously, stuff got to play out. But with Lamar, when he gets his deal, depending on how this thing goes, because Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow, they could get their deals either before or after. If you're Cincinnati, if you're LA, and Lamar gets his deal, and say for instance everything like this happens, he get the Super Bowl and all that, he gets his deal. For your quarterbacks, what will you give them? Will you let them surpass Lamar, or will you put them under? I think if Lamar got the Super Bowl, then they would have to put them under. But at the same time, the quarterback market is the market. So it all depends on how the team would feel and what they would do. So yeah, man, I do hope everything that you talked about comes to fruition, though. And then back-to-back Super Bowls will be even better. He said, and JPP plus our defense equals Super Bowl victory. The resume says it all. Both defenses he has been on won a Super Bowl. Mark my words, Ravens will win the Super Bowl. Blessings and health and protection. Amen and God bless. Hey, I love it, TJ. And again, I hope that everything that you said ends up going down.
Yeah.